Welcome to Sleepy Side Quests. Lower the lights, let your shoulders relax, and take a slow, steady breath. Tonight, we're taking a sleepy side quest into the world of Cyberpunk 2077, exploring the Northside Industrial District area inside the region of Watson. The Northside Industrial District was once an important area of Watson, with factories employing thousands of night citizens. Today, it feels neglected and devoid of life. Most of the factories shut down. Parts of buildings were damaged by earthquakes, and property developments were left unfinished. The center of the district is divided by a row of towering apartment buildings, purposely constructed to shield the wealthy from a pretty depressing view. They're occupied by mid-ranking workers that are still employed by the last remaining industries operating in the district. With few prospects to cling to, these workers' only hope is that they don't close down, because outside of the district, there is no future for them. As they say, you move to the north side, you'll die in the north side. Often that's just interpreted to mean you'll catch a stray bullet from one of the ubiquitous Maelstromers, which are one of the gangs operating in Night City. This synthetic protein factory was once owned by the food and beverage giant All Foods, who used these facilities to produce protein slurries that were marketed as meat, or close enough. At some point, this Night City branch was shut down unexpectedly, with the factory being abandoned. Soon enough, it became overrun by members of the local Maelstrom gang, who turned the place into one of their main hideouts in Watson. During the Fourth Corporate War, thousands of Night City residents were displaced and left homeless. The AHQ disaster destroyed the homes of many more. It would take years to start rebuilding, and in the meantime, the displaced began to settle in the surrounding suburbs. By the 2030s, reconstruction had started, but it wouldn't be until 2040 when the first mega buildings started construction in order to accommodate the displaced residents into the rebuilding urban zones. A continuation of the late 20th and early 21st centuries concept of an arcology, megabuildings were designed to function as cities within a city. This new generation of multi-purpose structures was stylized after the local New Harbor Mallplex, which had also been destroyed during the war. The project was partially financed by corporations who were looking to house their expanding workforce. Nomads were employed in the construction of the megablocks, with hundreds of them working on each one. Many parts of old derelict buildings were used as fill to construct the new megastructures. By 2045, the huge megabuildings were rising up to house the population, with the first ones being built in the Watson development. They were not the first in the list, hence why their numbers were so high, but the Night City Co-Prosperity Sphere, who was putting a lot of resources into the district, paid money to ensure they jumped on the list. Over time, mega buildings quickly became one of the main residential options in Night City. By 2077, 12 of these megablocks dominated the city skyline, each characterized by its unique color and assigned number. Each megabuilding roughly features over 8,000 apartments with varying capacity. At least 2,000 of these share the exact same layout. The lower floors are usually cheaper and crammed, with the upper floors featuring luxury penthouses. The middle floors offer fairly spacious apartments that include their own bathrooms, and most have a kitchen. Nonetheless, all apartments have installed wall-mounted vending machines that provide food. MediaCorps have made sure that each apartment has direct cable access to TV, radio, and sensory feed. Aside from residential housing, each megabuilding has a number of centralized hubs that provide different services, such as entertainment, food courts, stores, market stalls, gyms, and other common to shopping mall experiences, as well as parking spaces. They also offer security by means of rented corporate cops. And despite crime still remaining a problem in many megablocks, it is considered better than nothing. This cheap drive-in motel is found on Martin Street in Northside. Units at this establishment could be rented in person or through the Easy Estates net page. One of the apartments at the unnamed motel can be rented by V. This apartment is small and seedy, but contains all the essentials: a bed, a bathroom with a mirror and a shower, a computer, a radio, and a stash with weapon displays. At some point, netrunner Mike Gallick converted this unit into his hideout and netrunning den. In 2077, after a gig, which involved digging up dirt on an unnamed council member, Gallick disappeared without a trace. Sometime later, the unit was available for rent again. The facility seems to have been owned by the Revere Courier Services as part of their vertically integrated shipping monopoly until taken over by the Tiger Claws, who use it to smuggle goods into Night City. The facility is fenced off on all sides, with unnoticed openings in the fence near each of the gates for discreet entry. The facility consists of 2 floors, the first floor containing a small lobby and a large garage containing shelves of parcels, and the RCS-branded Villafort Columbus F340F freight, which V may steal in a gig. The second floor has 2 rooms with computers, one which V must jack in to gain access to the Villafort van. Totentanz was the name of a club on the top of Burleson Tower in the old city center of Night City. It survived the AHQ disaster of 2023, and during the time of the Red was occupied by Maelstrom along the rest of Burleson Tower. Due to the poor state of the building, around 2045, then Maelstrom leader Warlock tossed Flenser to find a new permanent home for the gang and the club. After sending people to search, she found herself with a list of some places in the Watson development, though she was preferably looking for another hotel. Eventually, this endeavor proved successful after finding an abandoned under-construction hotel. Maelstrom turned much of the building into a primary base of operations and converted the upper floors into the new Totentanz Club, becoming a significant source of the booster gang's income. By 2077, the Totentanz was the most popular gang club and drink and riot venue in Night City, described as loud, dark, and ultra-violent. Gang members from all walks frequented the club to party and listen to heavy rock and neo-death metal blasting at deafening volumes. They were all welcomed at the club, so long as they obeyed Maelstrom's authority and customs. It was said that if a night at the Totentanz had a body count of less than a dozen, it was considered a boring evening. Cargo Bay is a scavenger-run market located in the Northside docks at the northwestern tip of the Northside Industrial District. Scavengers repurposed old shipping containers to form the shops where they would sell their smuggled wares. It is one of the busiest places in Northside, causing the NCPD to permanently place a unit there. Gangs like Maelstrom and the occasional scavenger can be found nearby.
Can't help you, June.
Located in the Northside Industrial District, the docks were once used as the city's port, but are now controlled by Maelstrom. Every shipment that arrives at the docks has to be cleared with the gang. Given that most of the cargo is illegal anyway, it's easier to deal with Maelstrom and give them a cut than try to get rid of them. Since the late 2040s, the cargo ship Ebuniki has been sitting on these docks, awaiting for renovation. So much time passed that the vessel's name was associated with the surrounding docks. Adam Smasher made of the ship one of his many hideouts, with Jeremiah Grayson, Smasher's right hand, supervising his operations here. Working closely with Smasher and Grayson, the Maelstrom gang occupied these docks and has been using them as a drug storage and delivery warehouse from the shipments of vessels that arrive to Night City. This has been Sleepy Side Quests, your nightly save point. Thank you for spending this time with me, and I will see you on the next Sleepy Side Quest. Good night.